How did Politico come up with the headline, from your perspective, that he fabricated this West Point scholarship? The Politico, the lead of the story, and I'll read it to our viewers, Ben Carson's campaign on Friday admitted, in response to an inquiry from Politico, that a central point in his inspirational personal story was fabricated: his application and acceptance into the United States Military Academy at West Point. In this particular case, there was no application, there was no acceptance. There was a discussion, presumably, he had with General Westmoreland, who encouraged him to go ahead and apply. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, and it's clearly in the book. It's clearly his recollection. And obviously, sometimes people like to print headlines to get people to read. Because as I said earlier, if you read the article in its entirety, there's clearly a contradiction from what Politico is alleging from the campaign to what Dr. Carson's campaign manager, Barry Bennett, actually said. There was no fabrication. He made it clear that it happened. And while you cannot recall the details, and I, as a longtime friend, have been hearing these stories, and you tell these stories so often it becomes different variations of the story. The story changes, and you tell the story as a kid, and you tell it differently. And sometimes you cannot even recognize the details of the story. But I do know that Dr. Carson told this story. It was a pivotal point in his life in terms of trying to recall all the details. I can tell you this for a fact. Dr. Carson has always been clear that he never applied. He gracefully had to later let them know that his calling was medicine, and he had every intention of pursuing it.
In the article, the Politico